Hey everybody, welcome to Soulfish. I am really glad you're here. This channel, our approach, our practice is about teaching, it's about healing, it's about what is practical spirituality. To me, you don't have a spiritual practice, it's not real if it doesn't help you to change from a bad state into a good state. From a negative state into a positive state, from something that's not helpful or meaningful to something that is, an understanding, right? And so many of us use meditation, a more formalized, let's say, practice of meditation, to try to connect in. And that's what I really want to talk about today. If the messages here resonate with you, please subscribe, join our community. Be part of a growing message where suffering does not have to be for everyone all the time. Wouldn't that be cool? Many of us when we're meditating, feel like we have this monkey mind. It's even called monkey mind, right? And the idea is that, like a monkey, our mind jumps around from topic to topic to topic, and we're unable to focus. We're unable to disconnect enough from the mind speak to plug in, to connect in, to be in that space. I think for me, and what I teach and what I help people with, is that monkey mind is okay. I'm of the opposite, because my belief system, my teaching, is that it's too much about the mind. Everything is about the mind, the mind, the mind. The mind as if that's consciousness. It's in slow and big ways. As soon as you say something is, you're automatically saying something isn't. So, what if we define for ourselves a little bit about what other people, how is it defined in dictionaries and things as far as meditation? Let's start there, right? So in Princeton, they define meditation as continuous and profound contemplation or musing on a subject or series of subjects of a deep or abstruse nature. And the Wiktionary says meditation is a devotional exercise of or leading to contemplation. A contemplative discourse, often on a religious or philosophical subject. Webster's Dictionary. The act of meditating, close or continued thought, the turning or evolving of a subject in the mind, serious contemplation, reflection, musing. And Freebase says, meditation is a practice in which an individual trains the mind or induces a mode of consciousness. And there's a lot more there you can read if you want to pause this. I'm trying to include these for you. And then the U.S. National Library of Medicine says, meditation is a state of consciousness in which the individual eliminates environmental stimuli from awareness so that the mind can focus on a single thing, producing a state of relaxation and relief from stress. And so, since most of these definitions involve the word contemplation or the concept of contemplation, what does that mean? Well, I'm just pulling up Google, and it says contemplation, the action of looking thoughtfully at something for a long time. Deep, reflective thought. The state of being thought about or planned. Wow. So at no time, have you noticed? At no time are we discussing, no time is there a definition of included in that says, hey, it's not just your mind, it's a state of being. A state of being does not come from your mind. It is not the product of your mind. In fact, your mind is the product of your state of being. It's the opposite. The bad team likes to invert likes to take what's true and turn it upside down. That is the mainstream approach to things. So, if you're taught that your mind, your consciousness, let's say, is a subcategory of your mind, instead of your mind being basically the subcategory of your consciousness, your beingness, wow, that sure takes you down the wrong path, doesn't it? It puts you in a whole nother bucket. You're working on things that do not help you to move forward. What if it's distraction? You know, how much is monkey mind talked about being distraction? It prevents me from reaching that space. It doesn't, because monkey mind isn't the problem. The problem is you trying to control your mind in that way. That's the problem. That's why there's so much written on it. That's why a lot of religious practice might be focused on a portion of that. But if it's all about controlling your mind, having power over your mind, which is what it is, then that resistance isn't a natural harmony. It doesn't create a harmonic, symbiotic approach. So, if your consciousness is made up of your beingness, your beingness dictates what you're thinking and what you're feeling. So the argument is that, well, for what you're saying, then, how would you ever affect a positive change if you're not working on your mind or working on your energy feelings side individually, like using those as tools to move yourself forward? What I found is it's not about adding to, it's not about control, it's not about strengthening, it's actually about removing. It's about taking things away. If the mind doesn't have a feeling to create a story for, how would the mind create the story? If the story did not exist, made up inside you, how would your feeling get worse? So remove the story, you remove the feeling. Remove the feeling and you remove the story. It's both. It's both. You can't work on one side. Nobody's lifting weights on just their right arm and their right leg. Right? I mean, you work on both. You work on all. It's a work on all. So, let's tidy this up as it relates to monkey mind, as it relates to your mind jumping from topic to topic, and then you're following that because you're concerned about it. You feel like all of that jumping around somehow prohibits you from tapping in. And it's the opposite. I believe it's the opposite. What I want you to try, and the next time that you're sitting down to meditate, when you want to connect in, don't give any concern, thought, awareness, issues on monkey mind. Let it come and go. Let it be. What I'd rather you do is focus on intention. Because that makes the most sense. Because that's when you meld the thinking side with your feeling side. It's not your thought that brings you towards consciousness. It's your intention that brings you towards consciousness. Thought requires an outcome. Thought requires a result. Thought requires a story with a front, a middle, and an end. An expectation is required in thought. In an intention, you remove the expectation. In intention, you remove the how-to. In intention, everything is stripped away, accepting the result. The result of a feeling, not of an expectation, not of a linear, logical front, middle, end, but as a total knowing, feeling, understanding. All of it, what is combined into your will. That is true meditation. That is how you lift yourself. You use meditation to lift yourself. Not to have it bring you down, not to have it concern you in a way that you feel like you can't connect in because you're trying to open a door through your mind towards spirit, and your mind is of this place. So let your mind go. The next time you're sitting in contemplation, you want to leave contemplation and arrive at intention and start your practice from there. Hope this is helpful. Much love.